Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. I actually have to get to a class here in about a half an hour, so I can't rant too much here today. Put together a cute little chart deck here for you guys. This will just be a quick summary. There's not a heck of a lot new going on here other than a couple things moving in our direction, so that's always good. Then there are a couple others that are moving in opposite direction. So anyway, that's typical market. U.S. dollar index still fighting at its 38.2. Downtrend lines. Interesting. Could potentially have a nice little inverted head and shoulders. Hopefully you can all see that. And actually we've got a few inverted head and shoulders is coming in here. So, econs out of the States. Housing market was relatively strong, so that's good. I think Fed still sort of said that they're on pause and they're not really interested in doing anything right now. So, not a surprise. Stock market continuing to work its way higher. I think U.S. dollar index probably more a vote on international markets, things like the euro. I had made reference recently to euro head and shoulders. I got a sneaky suspicion that this thing just fired. So you can see we're now comfortably below this neckline here. So if that's the case, we could see U.S. dollar rally appreciably. And notice there's a cheeky little gap right down at the bottom here. That's also at the bottom of value. And I think I had shown you guys here recently. Bottom of value, that's going to get a guy like Hogue interested. And also, too, maybe we work our way along this trend line down to there. But kind of thinking energy, euro looking a bit heavy here. So interestingly enough, that's sort of a risk on kind of proxy. So with that failure here there in the euro, that actually says that risk to me is coming off and, money's going back into the US dollar. Interesting to see my bonds, and I've been talking to you guys and humming and hawing about this trade for the past week or two every single day. Oh, I know this damn market's moving up here. I should probably just get the hell out. And of course I haven't. It's just an option that I have on, so the risk is relatively limited. But my substantial profits that I saw in that position have slowly eroded away. I'm not overly excited about getting long bonds here because we're coming right up against a key trend line here. And 38.2 hasn't technically been resolved yet. And I have been hearing a lot of chatter in the public about 170 on the yields acting as a key support. And you can kind of see how that's almost like a neckline there. Of course, if we do break out violently and stocks collapse, then we could see a substantial rally here in the bond market. I am getting W's, like I said, shorts. Feeling a little bit uncomfortable there on the shorts, but not necessarily any new buy signals there on bonds. So we'll see how that goes, but I could see my little bond short trade underwater here for a bit. Interesting how we pointed out the inverted empire pattern on the gold yesterday. And just a very quiet inside day here today. This actually looks to me like we want to head back up and maybe eat that wick. So we'll see how that goes. There also is a cheeky little gap right there, just a little bit higher than where we are. But at least the sort of meltdown, free fall move lower on the yen has abated for the time being. Also, too, if we see money moving back into yen and even out of US dollar, out of euro, all that kind of stuff, that's technically risk-offy as well. So not only do we have the US dollar index moving up, a risk-offy, we have the bonds moving up, a risk-offy. The yen's put in a little bit of a fractal inverted empire, risk-offy. Gold just kind of treading water here. Gold's an interesting character. Like if I wanted to short gold outright, I got to wait for red boxes way up top here. I think I've talked to you guys recently about how I was very interested in shorting gold stocks. And lo and behold, really interesting action here. Very mixed message. So I'm still sort of on the sidelines. We actually got an upside key reversal, and I put a tweet out to this effect yesterday on the gold stocks themselves. This is the gold and silver stock index. You don't see that every day. So something big has happened here. The question was, were we going to have any follow through here today? We have traded to new highs here, so that technically is bullish. Barrick went to new highs. Interesting, Newmont did not. Remember I told you recently here about how we might get one of these underside kisses on the MACD histogram. Still haven't found a really good example to show you. But I'll dig one up here one of these days. But pretty good example of it in real time. You can see how MACD came up, kissed the zero line, and now we're threatening rollover. And you know, we had a really great tutorial session with the YouTube audience on the weekend defining RSI trend strength. And hopefully everybody can see here on gold, we had a pretty powerful uppy market. And our rule, and I think I walked everybody through this, it was such a cool tutorial. If we use Bitcoin here, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a moment. But, you know, let's see if I can show you. The first W stops the bear, so that confirms there. Second W, confirming through here, starts the bull. And whenever we get the second W that comes in through the 50 line, oh boy, look out. And sure enough, you know, I didn't show you the other day, but look at what happened on that event. That was that rally. Vroom! Right? So that was clearly the trade, that second W. And this is the shitty part for most new people to investing and trading, is they just don't realize the market often lays traps. So what I often suggest people is, you know, do 1W, 2W. If you get this third W, and especially if we start approaching overbought levels, this purple or third W is usually a trap. And this move will exhaust itself and the bull goes on pause. And you can see even here, they broke out and then they put it in an M. You know, bull's on pause. And then they broke it out again. All right, W's, and it's the second W, so look out. So here we are, you know, third W, watch for trap. M comes in, bulls, you better go on pause. So it's kind of interesting to see, and then, and we'll get to this in a bit, Bitcoin now putting in a second M. Second M usually starts the bear. The good part about this, of course, is it's not through the 50 line, so this is still just sort of correction mode for me right now. But you can clearly see the bull was stopped, and now the bull's gone now, and now the bear is trying to take over this market. But we'll get to that in a bit. I was showing you that RSI on gold, wasn't I? Actually, this is on the Newmont. So, you know, I told you yesterday that because they gapped the market lower and then rallied up to high, that technically the trade levels are now a break through this high here. Think bull-bear battle lines, and a break through this low here. The low here actually is sort of the signal. But interesting, there is the first M that stops the bull. And lo and behold, hopefully everybody can see, here comes another M. And then if we get any serious selling, notice that low there, right, is at 51. Right? What a coincidence. And if this thing craps out and goes through that, that's your second big honking M through the 50 line. This thing's getting ready to come back down. So I still think that the bull is on pause. And unfortunately, I just don't have any structure to work with yet here, you crazy-ass motherfuckers. So I just got to be patient and just let it play out. It's interesting as this is developing. Notice Barrick, still the biggest gold stock in the world, is come up to Mountain Man level. And now he has entered trade location. So we're starting to see this stuff develop. We don't really have such a nasty momentum breakdown, especially volume looks relatively okay here. But you know, if I started to see failure in these gold stocks, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. So be careful there, everybody. The only sort of outlier, and it might be a function of what silver is doing as opposed to gold, is the gold and silver sector index actually put in this key reversal here yesterday, which is a bit of an outlier. That's a bit of a surprise. But as I said, I might look at some silver stocks. Maybe it's the silver stocks that are driving this, not gold. But anyway, it is what it is. Still don't have a trade to do here yet, but gee whiz, this sure is developing nicely here. It sure looks like there's a trade developing there. Risk on, stocks still going to new highs. This is crazy. January barometer. Oh my God, what the hell is going on here? It is what it is. There's no point in fighting this. You just have to live with what the market's given you. But I think the simple message here, people, is get ready. This stock market is going to go crazy to the upside for 2020. And what does crazy to the upside look like? There's no reason why each and every one of you can't be seeing this kind of stuff. Reload zones, not rocket science, original double bottoms, big fat bull divs, and woohoo! And we're just getting started. I mean, it's only January. Oh my goodness, this year, it's ridiculous, the kind of money that's on the table here this year, guys. So, as you can see, stock's still powering higher. Now I actually have a bear EB equals CD on the crude oil painting back down to this trend line. So I think there's probably pretty good odds that we head back down here and, remember our seasonal trade by the middle of February. So I'm not really in a hurry to do anything in energy now for probably a good 2 or 3 weeks at least. Talked about bonds and gold, so we'll leave that at that. I always like to tout trade ideas, and of course, got off a really, really nice win here this morning. FYI, I love this company. This company, they just increased revenue by 57%. Great share structure. I like the business model that they're in. And frankly speaking, I want to be long this stock forever. And if we're really lucky, big honking weekly and monthly W's are going to be coming in here. And my only job here is just to be patient and disciplined and just let the stock work. And I'm long from down here. So in essence, I got to move up into 3.5, sell half on a double, blah, 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 get a risk-free trade, and then just forget about this stock. I just want to put it away and forget about it. We'll see how it goes. But long and short of it here, sitting pretty good here today. New ideas? Definitely warming up to some pot names. The whole pot sector itself looks like it's a little bit overdone. But here's a great example of an inverted head and shoulders. It's one of our sort of key concepts. What do markets in transition look like? That we teach in our education program. This is a fairly well-defined, fairly well-known chart pattern. And the simple fact is, if we go through the neckline here, something along those lines, that's a big buy signal. And hello. So there's a name for you to chew on. Can't say Brian doesn't give you ideas. I'm not telling you what to buy, not giving you a recommendation. I couldn't give a shit if you buy this or not. I'm telling you what I'm doing with my money, and I'm in there trying to buy. So heading on over to the corn. I looked at the crypto stocks this morning and really, through the daily brief and stuff, didn't see anything to get excited about there. So I don't think crypto's in really a big hurry to go anywhere right now. And you know what? When you start seeing this kind of stuff in the public chatter, this is almost like the kiss of death. Stop doing this, crypto. Don't paint these kind of targets. Number one, you're going to be filling people with false expectations. And then number two, if you start talking this way, then that's actually, ironically enough, for an old gnarly trader like me, this is a classic FOMO kind of thinking. And it's actually a great shorting window for a guy like me when I see the public acting like this. This is irresponsible. And it's one of the reasons why I get really upset with this space is people just don't understand how irresponsible this kind of talk is. And long and short of it here, I look at the price chart. If anybody listens to any of my rants about things like RSI and stuff like that, thank you, Julian, for doing such a great job on the site, walking everybody through this. We just had an M come in. Where's Mr. 400,000 saying, be careful, everybody, the bulls should be on pause. And now, and I walked you through that gold scenario, now we have another M coming in here. The bull is not in and driving the bus right now. Very, very dangerous. If I look at the price action itself, and I've sort of tried to convey this message to you people recently, this isn't new. we're in a trading range right now, and we're consolidating after a fairly large move up. And what's more important is that they've done nothing more than just rally the market right up into original breakdown levels. Reload zones, Mountain Man. This is a dangerous place to get too excited, either bull or bear. And I can completely understand bears, especially with the options now. I can go and buy a put option here and just lock in the price, and I don't have to worry about some dickhead on Crypto Universe running liquidity runs and getting liquidated, and you liquidate me and I liquidate myself. You don't have to worry about that with options. So I get this sneaky suspicion they run it up top here, and all the hedgers come out and just go buy a put, and then that way they're covered. So be careful here, everybody. And the message really hasn't changed too much. One thing I did add to today's conversation is we now have to start seriously thinking about how the market is going to act into this happening. If we're really lucky, we get some sort of big blast off into here. But just remember, everybody, I have no idea what's going to happen here. I still have to let this develop here before I see a new setup. But just keep in mind that Bitcoin, we walked through the Litecoin scenario. It likes to, Litecoin last year topped out about a month and a half ahead of its happening. So I would fully expect Bitcoin to do exactly the same thing. So, take it for whatever it's worth. I do like dips against these lows as a nice trade setup. I don't really like anything in here. If I am going to be hunting setups, I want to see this develop a little bit more. 3 higher lows, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking that by the time we get to mid-April, we have to actually start thinking about a serious top in the market. So, all right. Not really anything new to add to that conversation, but, hopefully consistency, reliability, dependability, same message day in, day out. Nothing changes from Brian. Looking at the alts, I don't really see anything to get too excited about. I don't really see a heck of a lot of new trading ideas. A lot of these hot, sexy names have run up. I'm hearing a lot of people in the public starting to tout buying ADA here, which I think is dangerous. Again, you're coming into horizontal support and resistance. If you want to be a buyer, again, probably, next couple months, wait for some sort of pullback. And you might get a buying window. And I see a lot of names in the crypto space have done that. You can't chase. You're not allowed to chase. So I don't really have any new trade ideas to throw at you guys here today. What I will just simply say is the market is moving. Feels like things have gotten maybe a little bit ahead of themselves. You want sort of a proxy as to whether the market's going to crap out or not. I like to follow these poop perp, poop bull poop, and moon poop. If these things M out, then the bull run's done. And also too, not a bad idea. You want to keep sort of a proxy on the space. I just had it on the screen. Where is it? BNB. Right. I think this is an excellent proxy on the space. Our recent altcoin rally was basically through this window. So if we see a big fat M come in here, then probably odds are your altcoins got to cool down. Okay, I think I'm going to leave the free offering at that for today. I hope you got some value out of it. All the best. And the only thing left for good old Brian to say at this point is, sad face. One of the Monty Python crew passed. Kind of a shame. God rest your soul, Terry. Have yourselves a great day. Be thankful. You can still enjoy your time on this planet. Try to play from a position of strength. And, of course, if you want to try and get some assistance to help set yourself up to run your small business of trading, that's what our whole site, really the whole reason why I do all of this, that's why we are here. So reach out, and we'll be more than happy to try and help you out. All right, everybody, have a great day. All the best, and bye for now.